Yeah, so Mueller is actually accompanying us now. So, people in the Erebonian army tend to be taught a wide variety of fighting styles. It's something that we'll find out later once we actually visit Erebonia. Yep, as you might have noticed, he's back to his Olivier outfit. Yep, he'll still be called Olivier by us for the time being, but this is Olivier's last outing. One final journey for love and beauty. Oh yeah, I'm sure there'd be a lot of questions. Oh yeah, by the way, that comment that he made all the way back when we first met him, that people paid huge amounts of money just to hear him in concerts, it kind of makes sense why now. Dorothy, save some of your photo quartz for the floating island. Some people have expressed a bit of surprise that Mueller treats Olivier like this, despite knowing that he's royalty, but they've known each other for a long time. Mueller has put up with him for a while and really has to form some kind of defense mechanism against all of his antics by now. War correspondence? Well, I guess, kinda makes sense. I'm sure that's gonna be all over the news. But there's also, you know, photographs of this ancient floating city. Well, we have two people who are experts at actually, no wait, three if you count Kevin. So yes, her, Olivier, and Kevin. 3 experts at sucking the seriousness out of the room. This room's seriousness is now in the negatives. Never ever say that phrase, assuming nothing happens. Those 3 words always spell disaster. As Kevin is pointing out here, I can just picture him saying that really casually. And, well, speaking of something bad happening... Well, that was a resounding success. Vander, please don't take notes on this and show them to certain people. I'm sure there are various people in the Empire who would definitely love to rip this off. Well, that'll be for the 2.0 version of the airship. I think we all know what that is. It's about time for a confrontation that's been foreshadowed ever since the teaser at the end of FC. I think it's about time we all held on to something. And that's the other thing that you should never ever say. That's a good point. And of course we have this tune again. It does seem like this particular motif is always used in locations that relate to the Aureole or the Floating City. Because it played in the towers, it played in the underground sealed area, it plays in cutscenes relating to those areas. Giant tower in the middle of that floating city sounds very Final Dungeon-y. So we're gonna land right next to it. Because that's how things always go, you know. Mega Man always teleports right next to the boss door. I'll just say that I do like how the cutscene music seamlessly, like, transitions into, actual sort of gameplay footage music. Uh-oh, Dorothy's noticed something. And when she notices something, you should usually pay attention to it. She has a habit of catching things first. I mean, she was the one who saw Joshua on the Capua ship first. Of course it would be you. And that is our introduction to the final chapter, and of course it would be called this. I'm sure many of you would have seen that coming, even from the very beginning of the first game. The title has a very interesting double meaning though, because I've said before that the word for trail, kiseki, can also mean miracle. Miracle in the sky is an apt way to describe the place we've just landed. Wait, who's Esterlake? So, something that I actually find kind of interesting if you look closely at this. So, Kevin and Joshua went to check on Estelle, Chloe went to check on Julia, Niall went to check on Dorothy, Agate and Tita are with each other, Sharon and Olivier are near each other, ship tease, and Zin has no one. And now I feel really bad for him. But it is just kind of interesting, like, just that kind of subtle nod to all of the character relationships within the party that you get to see here without any real dialogue. Just the arrangement of the sprites. Okay, good, she's fine. And, another one of my favorite lines. And she's still being her usual self. I get the feeling he has to do this to her a lot. What about the three at the helm? Okay, it seems like, they're alright. This whole sequence reminds me of that part of Atlantis where, like, their convoy goes over the cliff and then, you just hear, okay, who's not dead? Sound off! Yeah, he's here, along with all the others. Not to mention he seems to be riding on a modified Reverie. So, the Reverie parts they were examining in the lab, this is, what all that research was leading up to. Oh yeah, that's reassuring. We're only alive because he, made sure that we land gently. That implies that they're just toying with us and they want us to reach them. Welcome to the Liber arc, our final destination for this story. Oh hey, Sig's actually still flying at this altitude. Which means we're still able to scout. Okay, who here speaks bird? Okay, the Glorious is here. That means Ouroboros has a presence in the area. Why is it that in fiction that method always works? So you can take off, but you wouldn't be able to land. So Mueller is going to be busy with the repairs for the moment. Yeah, we can't let that happen. Oh boy, yeah. We don't quite know what that thing is yet, but we will very soon. And once we do, you'll realize that we really, really need to keep it out of their hands. Because, yeah, a device that can shut out orbital power to an entire country is one thing, but that's not even the thing's true purpose. And we're about to learn what that true purpose is. And so, justifying why the party composition is exactly the same as it is normally. It's a pretty big place. So that is our first stop. So, this will be our base of operations for the chapter, and I do mean the entire chapter. We'll be returning here a lot to switch out our party and tune up our augments, and you do get the best rate for Serpent in the game, so makes sense given this is our final place to exchange Serpent. So Captain Schwartz will not be joining our main party either. But we now have access to pretty much our full team, although you might notice there is one empty slot here. I wonder what that implies. But as you can see, Olivier, or should I say Oliver, but he prefers that we call him Olivier for now, is severely behind in terms of levels, so I'm going to be bringing him first. And we couldn't use Chloe for the entire previous chapter, so let's bring her too. I'm also going to want to upgrade their slots to level 3. This place is something completely new to us. Something that I love about the Leaper arc is it feels like nothing else we've seen. But it's also like an ancient city that feels very grounded in reality. Like, what other ancient cities have you seen in fiction that actually have a parks district? Yeah, they wouldn't let you have to go the entire final chapter with the ZFG gimmick. No more ZFGs. Anyone can use whatever arts they want now. Thank Adios for that. Yeah, I could only imagine just how brutal this chapter would be if you still had only one ZFG for it. So that's interesting. We have no ZFG on our engines, but everything still works. So, a bit of a loophole there. Doesn't seem to be very good at protecting itself against threats from the inside. And yeah, no need to use ZFG for those. We can tune up our augments whenever we want. And you will need to. Trust me, you want to upgrade as many slots to level 3 as you can at this point. By the end of the game, whichever party you're using should have every slot at level 3. Because we're going to be getting a lot more level 3 quartz soon. And so everyone heads out to their places on the ship. Now, characters will actually change where they are on board this thing. As this chapter progresses. They'll be helping out with the repairs, and repairs will keep progressing. And so sometimes you'll find the stronger party members like Agate and Zin outside helping clear away rubble, but once all the rubble's gone, they'll be inside the ship, so make sure you search every nook and cranny of this place if you can't find party members. Their locations will change from time to time. But it seems like Joshua's gonna have to do something for a little bit. That's kinda suspicious, but we know to trust Joshua by now. I mean, actually, Joshua's generally good at lying, but as he says here, not to Estelle. Fortunately, the game skips over that 30 minutes. Well, that is still kind of curious, but we should just trust him for now. And so here we are on board the Arsail. And it's a good thing we start out here because there are two things that we need to buy from the cafeteria. The first is bitter omelets. So that's another recipe for our book. This heals 40 CP for the whole party, which is actually pretty useful. And with that, we only have one recipe left, and we'll be getting it a bit later in the chapter. But we should also go to buy items, because here we can get Liberl News issue 11. It's not useful for any achievements, but we may as well read that while we're here. City under siege, Crimson soldiers invade, fighting in the capital. Yesterday at noon, in a capital already crippled by an orbital blackout, fighting broke out as Crimson soldiers ploughed through army lines and begun pouring into Grancel via airships. Mysteriously able to use their own orbments despite all others remaining inoperative, the invaders easily pushed on towards the castle. It seemed almost certain the royal keep would fall. Unexpected reinforcements appear. Just as things seemed hopeless, an unexpected ally took to the field of battle in the shape of the former Intelligence Division's Special Ops. The same unit that had been dismantled for their treasonous action used the chaos of the attack on the capital not to escape, but to defend their homeland against the Crimson invaders. With the arrival of these new players, the tide turned and the Royal Army was able to counterattack. Between the combined might of the Royal Army, the Intelligence Division's Combat Specialist units, and bracers who joined the fray, the enemy was forced into retreat and the threat averted. International criminal organization behind attacks. The true nature of these Crimson soldiers has been wrapped in mystery until an investigation from the Royal Army and Bracer Guild revealed the armed unit to be under the command of a mysterious organization, a society. Given the sophisticated equipment of this group, it is believed that the society possesses significant technical leverage and funding, but their goals remain unclear. Breaking news, heir to the throne named. In the first bit of bright news in a while, Queen Alicia held a press conference where she named her granddaughter, Princess Claudia, the crown princess and official heir to the throne. Abbreviated ceremonies formally installing the 16-year-old princess as heir have taken place. We hope to overcome our current national troubles and make her future reign a bright one. Breaking news, shutdown phenomenon solved? it has become clear that the orbital shutdown phenomenon is occurring not just in the capital, but across the nation. However, Professor Russell, with the aid of the Central Factory, has developed a new invention called the Zero Field Generator that may open a path to resolution. This device produces an orbital energy field that neutralizes the shutdown phenomenon and restores orbits within a few reads to normal operation. Production of these devices requires high-level machinery, however, and mass production is difficult. The Royal Army and Bracer Guild have managed to restore communications at their bases using the available units, and we hope this revolutionary invention will eventually alleviate more of the troubles caused by this phenomenon. And so with that, I just want to show off a place that we'll be coming back to quite a lot over the course of this chapter. Here, we can upgrade our orbit slots. And in particular, you want to upgrade Olivier's slots as soon as possible, because he has a major lack of level 3 slots. You definitely want to give him as many level 3 slots as you can, so that he can use some of the higher tier action and cast quartz. Now, also, if you check the Capel system, and search for data crystals, analysis is complete on the first 4 of them. And I would definitely recommend that you read these because they have some very interesting information. Of course, the later ones are still redacted, but here's number 0. Concerning the seal mechanism, 1 of 4. My name is Celeste D. Orsles. I am the designer of the seal mechanism, and the woman ultimately responsible for the sealing of the Aureole. I have decided to leave behind a series of records for the world to come in case the second seal is activated and the Aureole, which was sealed in another dimension, should threaten to return. If you who read this message seek to prevent the Aureole's return, I pray this information will aid you. However, if you seek to restore the Aureole, I beg you, reconsider. The Aureole's power is too great for we children of man to wield. When we used it, it connected us to the darkest Gehenna. I would say it looks like the Society didn't read that warning, but then I realized Weissman probably wouldn't care. Oh hey, we can see Mueller here. You get a little bit of additional dialogue here if you talk to him with Olivier in your party. Seems like the lighting is down for the moment. Okay, that's why my notes tell me to do this. Yeah, Olivier's still up to his old tricks. So something that I find kind of interesting about him, he can act really seriously as Oliver when he wants to, but I feel like his Olivier persona is basically him inflicting Flanderization on himself. He's still pretty much the same eccentric bard we all know and love, but in his real persona he's a little bit more restrained. Here, he exaggerates all of his eccentricities up to 11, and does a pretty effective job at throwing off suspicion that he might, you know, actually be competent beneath all that. So, things here have gone on for a while. We've had a lot of intro cutscenes, but now that we're all set up, next time we'll begin our exploration of the Liber Arc. See you all then.